Nintendo refusing to hand out Switch 2 dev kits, Gearbox admitting that Borderlands 3 sometimes felt like a parody of itself, and Gears of War Reloaded launching with performance problems, missing features, and even what looks to be edited trailers according to fans. This and a bit more in today's video, and of course, timestamps will be in the description. Welcome to the first episode of Fomo Weekly, where I recap the biggest gaming news and drama from the past 7 days or so you don't miss a thing. Unfortunately, we're a bit late on this one, considering we're in the process of moving right now, but hopefully the next one will be on schedule. So, whether you're relaxing, cleaning the house, out on a walk, doesn't matter. This is your weekly catch-up on everything that's happening in gaming. So, let's start with the biggest story of the week, or last week I should say, Nintendo's unusual approach to the Switch 2. As you know, the console launched back in June and it's already off to a record-breaking start. According to the industry analyst Matt Piscatella, the console sold more than 2 million units in the United States within its first 2 months on the market. That makes it the fastest-selling console ever in the US during its second month of launch. But despite those incredible sales figures, many developers are still struggling to actually make games for the system. At Gamescom, Digital Foundry's Richard Ledbetter reported that lots of developers said they aren't able to get Switch 2 dev kits, and even suggested that Nintendo seems to be almost discouraging Switch 2 development. It's a surprising move, because most companies like Sony and Microsoft push dev kits out early to encourage a strong lineup of titles. For Nintendo, this restrictive approach could mean that they're extremely protective of their hardware, or that they want to carefully control what kind of games arrive first. Either way, it puts third-party developers in a strange position. The Switch 2 is already a massive success in players' hands, but many studios still don't have the tools they need to build for it. Meanwhile, over at Gearbox, the team behind Borderlands has been reflecting on their past missteps. In a recent interview with IGN Nordic, Gearbox developers admitted that, in our worst hours, Borderlands 3 sometimes felt like a parody of itself. They explained that while the series has always been known for its humor, in Borderlands 3 the balance wasn't right. Jokes often overshadow the story, making it harder for players to take the characters and the world seriously. One developer even said that the writing sometimes undercut important narrative beats that should have had more impact. Looking ahead, Gearbox says they've taken the criticism to heart and are applying it directly to Borderlands 4. The next entry will focus on finding stronger balance between humor and storytelling, while still keeping the wild, over-the-top tone the franchise is known for. The studio described Borderlands 4 as an opportunity to bring the series back to its roots, refining the humor, tightening the narrative, and making sure the game feels more authentic to what fans loved about earlier entries. Over on the Xbox side, one of their biggest franchises just dropped a new entry, but the launch hasn't gone quite as planned. Gears of War Reloaded launched last week, and the reception has been mixed, especially on PC. On Steam, the game currently holds a mixed rating, with players citing performance problems, crashes, and weak optimization. But beyond the technical complaints, players are also upset about missing features. Local co-op and split screen, longtime staples of the series, are absent from Reloaded. On Reddit, one user pointed out that earlier trailers actually showed local co-op gameplay, but those trailers were later re-uploaded without that footage, leading to many to call marketing misleading. Microsoft has responded to the criticism, saying they are investigating the issues and working on fixes. But between the rocky technical state and the backlash over missing features, this isn't the kind of launch Xbox was hoping for from one of its flagship franchises. Whew, okay, now, shifting from troubled launches to one of the hardest hitting follow-ups to Elden Ring, Nightrein just got a major update. Bandai Namco has released new details for Elden Ring Nightrein, the standalone follow-up to Elden Ring. One of the most recent additions is the Deep of Night Expedition mode, a high difficulty feature designed for replay value and long-term engagement. Players on Reddit have been discussing the mode since it was revealed, with some excited about the extra challenge and others debating just how punishing it really is compared to the base game. The Expedition mode is said to reinforce FromSoftware's focus on the building experiences that keep players engaged far beyond the main campaign, catering especially to fans who thrive on the toughest challenges. And finally, let's wrap up with some good news for PlayStation Plus subscribers. Sony announced the PS Plus lineup for September, which is the month we're already in since I'm late with this video, but it's a strong one. Subscribers will get access to Psychonauts 2, Stardew Valley, and Viewfinder. It's a great mix actually, because Psychonauts 2 is a critically acclaimed platformer with a strong story, while Stardew Valley remains one of the most beloved indie sims ever, and Viewfinder offers a unique perspective-based puzzle experience. Compared to the weaker lineups in the past, this month is being widely praised as one of the best in recent memory. And that wraps up last week's headlines. From Nintendo's unusual Switch 2 strategy, to Gearbox reflecting on Borderlands, to Gears Reloaded rocky launch. It's been a busy week in gaming, folks. Have these stories affected you in some way, or do you have any insights on news that I might have missed? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the first ever Fomo Weekly. We're a bit late on this one since we're in the process of moving, but hopefully the next one will be on time. Thanks again, folks.